Hi everybody, my name is Treanor, and I'm back. I'm here today to share with you some of the knowledge that I've accumulated over the last 40 years playing this little guy right here, the harmonica. What I'm going to talk about today is tunings. Several years ago, I began to experiment with actually physically retuning my harps to various scales, and it opened up a whole new avenue and a whole new world of playing to me. Now, alternate tunings for harps is nothing new. Most harmonicas, standard 10-hole diatonics, come right out of the box in what's called a Richter tuning in a diatonic scale. But several years ago, Lee Oscar, brand harmonica, began to offer altered tunings, a natural minor, a harmonic minor, and a melody maker. As soon as these harps became available, I began to purchase them and play them, and it really changed the way that I played harp. A couple of years back, Horner followed suit, and now they also offer alternate tunings, and I believe a natural minor and a melody maker. But before that, Horner had a model called the Soloist. Now the Soloist was a 12-reed harmonica, and it was tuned very similar to a natural minor. It was a harp that was favored by both the Walters, Little Walter and Big Walter Horton, and they used it on several of their recordings. Many people have misinterpreted what they thought was a chromatic solo on one of those recordings, and it was really the Soloist. With this in mind, what I wanted to do was take a diatonically tuned harp and retune it into a different scale. Let's take a look at how I do it, what tools I use, and where I got this information to begin with. Here we go. This is my workbench. This is where I do all my mad creating. These are also the tools that I'll use. I'll go through each one of these. But before we get there, there's a couple of sites that I think you should know about on the internet. They were really helpful to me, and I think you'll find them very helpful to you also. A few years back at Spa, I met Joe Falisco, a great harp player and a master harp mechanic. He turned me on to a couple of websites that were a wealth of information for retuning harps, for harps in general. The first one was Pat Messon's site. This is his website address. I highly recommend, if you haven't been there, to go there and check it out. It's a wealth of information. The second one was the overblow.com site. This site has become kind of a Bible for me because it has all of the tunings, and it's really been a great source of information and knowledge in terms of how I tune my harps. So check out these sites, and then we'll get on with how I do this. One of the first things you're going to have to do is create a chart that takes all 12 keys of a diatonic harp and lists the notes in each draw and blow position. This is instrumental to retuning your harps, and it's also really good information to have, to know what those notes are. The overblow.com site is an excellent place to get this information for the basic notes of each key and each diatonic scale. These are the basic tools I use when I'm retuning my harps. I'll go through each one of them, explain what they do, demonstrate it. When I first started doing this, I picked up a Herring harmonica maintenance kit. These are great kits that have almost everything you need in order to retune a harp. Change out reeds. This is a hand tuner that I got from Bill Rommel out of Las Vegas. Bill is a long-time harp mechanic. This is an excellent tool right here, especially when it comes to tuning troublesome reeds. This is a Dremel tool. This thing is indispensable when it comes to working on harps. These tools all came out of the Herring kit. With these tools you can retune any harp, replacing reeds, etc. Again, a really fine kit to start with. I retune my harps in several different tunings. I use a harmonic cross. I use a Dorian for playing in minor keys. I use an Irish tuning. But one of my favorites is what I call a Joe Blues or a Joe Filisko tuning. I'm going to kind of use that one today to demonstrate how I do this. First of all, I take a standard harp. I like to use the big rivers because you can get the plates and then you can use the reeds out of the plates. I'm going to work on a big river harp in the key of A. I'm going to take it from its standard diatonic tuning and put it into a Joe Filisko blues tuning. The first thing you have to do is take the harp completely apart. Take off the reed plate covers. Take the screws that hold the reed plates in place. There's 3 of them. Take them out. Set the harp aside. I'm going to go to the overblow.com site and find the Joe Filisko scale. I'm then going to make note of what reeds need to be changed in order to play this scale on this harp. Then I'm going to go to my stash of reed plates. I've been blowing the harp for over 40 years, and something told me a long time ago, don't throw away those harps. So I didn't. So I have a virtual gold mine of available reeds. If you need to get reeds, it's best to buy the plates as opposed to a single reed. I think Horner wants $2 a shot for a single reed, whereas you can buy a whole plate for a little under $10. That's 20 reeds. Heck of a bargain. Using my chart, I'll find the corresponding reed, giving me the note I'll need, and then what I'll do is I'll use my Dremel tool to slightly knock off the little nub right there. It'll make it easier to pop the reed out. I'll place the plate into that handy little device that came in that herring kit, into the groove, lay it down on a hard surface. Using a small tack hammer and the punch that came with that herring kit, I'll place the punch on top of the reed, a couple of whacks. Using a pair of specialized pliers, real specialized, I got the whole set for $5 at Home Depot. I grab on to the rivet that's holding the reed in place, and then keeping the reed and the rivet together, give it a little yank, and out it comes. There's my reed. Using the same technique, I've already knocked the reed out of the plate that I'm building. I'll use the Dremel tool one more time to knock down that little edge right there, because I want this to go in nice and smooth, no problems. And it's time to set the reed. Again, using one of those specialized $5 high-end pieces of equipment, I'll take the reed, I'll snap it in place. Again, using one of the tools that I got with that herring kit, I'll put this reed setter over the reed, and with the hammer, a couple of quick taps. And it's set. Once I've set the reed, I'll use the reed wrench to ensure that it's set in the slot properly. I'll then gap it. Again, test it. Yeah. It's ready to go. I'll then put the whole harp together. I'll play it a little bit. Make sure that it's in tune. If need be, I'll retune the reeds using this reed spacer. Again, came with that herring kit. Bill Rommel's drill, or file. I'll slightly hit the reeds. Test it against my tuner. And when everything's ready, I'm ready to go. So that's how I retune my harps. It's really a lot of fun, and it opens up a whole new world to playing the harp.